Silas the Panther Blackwood, a name whispered in hushed tones, once synonymous with charm and deceit. His victims? Wealthy women, beguiled by his silver tongue and even more silver hair. But time, an unforgiving thief, had begun to steal Silas's greatest assets, his youthful looks. The Panther was aging, his once sharp features softening, the swagger in his step less pronounced. The women, they weren't as easily swayed now. Their gazes lingered a second too long on the lines etched around his eyes, the hint of fatigue in his smile. His once overflowing bank accounts began to dwindle. Desperation, a bitter pill, settled in his throat. He needed a new plan, a new edge. He needed to be young again. The whispers started in a smoky backroom, a den of gamblers and opportunists. A revolutionary drug, they said. A fountain of youth, stolen from the hands of a scientific genius. It could rewind the clock, they claimed, erase the years and leave you young and vibrant. Silas, skeptical yet intrigued, listened with a predator's intent. He had always scoffed at easy solutions, but the allure of reclaiming his lost youth was too potent to resist. To feel that rush of invincibility again, to see the desire in their eyes, the trust so easily given, so easily betrayed. The whispers became a roar in his ears, drowning out reason. He had to have it. The research facility stood on the outskirts of the city, a sterile monolith of glass and steel hiding its secrets from the world. Silas, dressed in nondescript clothing, watched it from a distance. Security was tight, but Silas had never met a lock he couldn't pick, a system he couldn't outsmart. He moved with the confidence of a phantom, his movements fluid, almost instinctive. Security cameras were bypassed, laser grids danced through, pressure plates anticipated. He was in his element, the thrill of the chase a familiar aphrodisiac. He found his prize, a solitary vial filled with a shimmering, iridescent liquid. Section 4. The Price of Greed. Alone in the sterile lab, Silas held the vial up, mesmerized. He could almost taste it, the promise of youth, of power. He ignored the warning label, the carefully measured dosage instructions. It wasn't enough. He wanted to be young, truly young, to relive the glory days. He smashed the vial, the sound echoing in the silence. Greed, like a starving beast, took over. He found more vials, each one emptied in quick succession. The world around him began to blur, his senses overloaded. He laughed, a high-pitched, almost childlike sound. He felt different, lighter. Section 5. A child left behind. The first rays of dawn pierced through the lab's windows. The cleaning staff, accustomed to the sterile silence, found chaos. Vials littered the floor, their contents spilled, their labels torn. And in the center, a sight that made them gasp. A baby, no more than a year old, crawled on the cold floor, his eyes wide and innocent. He gurgled, reaching out with chubby fingers towards a discarded vial. Panic ensued. The police arrived, their faces grim as they surveyed the scene. The security tapes, when reviewed, showed a shadowy figure entering, but none leaving. The legend of Silas the Panther Blackwood had taken a strange and disturbing new turn.